When one hears Israel, its allies, and certain Arab states call on the Palestinian and Lebanese resistance to lay down their arms and surrender, one should recall the lesson of Granada in Andalusia in 1491. In his book, And Remember from Andalusia, The Extermination, Ahmad Raif recounts the surrender of Granada in 1492 as a tale steeped in tragedy and deceit. After a long siege that began in the spring of 1491 and lasted into the winter, Sultan Abu Abdullah al-Saghir entered negotiations with the Catholic monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella. The promises were enticing. If the Muslims surrendered their weapons and opened Granada's gates, their lives, faith, and property would be safe. These were not mere spoken assurances. They were written into an 80-page treaty known as the Capitulations of Granada, signed on November 25, 1491, and enacted on January 2, 1492. The articles guaranteed Muslims the freedom to practice their religion, protection from forced conversion, preservation of their language and Islamic law, safeguarding of property, and immunity from prosecution for those who had fought to defend the city. It seemed like a lifeline to preserve the last remnants of Andalusian identity. But once the weapons were laid down, the harsh reality emerged. Violations began almost immediately. In 1492, restrictions tightened, and then came the decisive blow from Rome. In 1494, Pope Alexander VI issued a decree, releasing Isabella from her oath to honor the treaty. That was the green light for forced conversions, the Inquisition, and ultimately the expulsion of the Moriscos between 1609 and 1614. Thus, the promises became a trap, the treaty a worthless paper, and betrayal the final chapter of the Andalusian tragedy.